Hello, hello, my friends. I have another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about HOMEWORX Santa's Sangria. Now, I do always like to be upfront and disclose with you when a product has been sent to me in PR, and that is the case today. HOMEWORX did send this candle to me for consideration and for review, so I do thank them for doing that. As always, you guys, I know that I have said this before, but just in case you're new to my channel or maybe just new to the candle community in general, when candles are sent to us in PR, we are never told what we need to say. There have been plenty of times that I have given a negative review on candles that have been sent to me in PR. But if a candle does a good job, I will also point that out as well. My job as a reviewer is basically just to point out to you guys the pros and cons that I have noticed with the performance of a candle in my home, and also just share with you what my nose detects when it comes to fragrance notes. So that way you have the information you need to decide whether or not you want to make a purchase. So I do just want to put that out there. I also wanted to say that if you tend to notice that quite a few of my reviews coming up, I would say over the next week, might be a little bit heavy on the side of candles that I received in PR. It's just because my candle burning rotation has kind of shaken out that way. You guys know that I tend to like to wait until I hit the halfway point at least with a lot of these candles before I provide a dedicated candle review. And so that just happens to be a lot of the candles that I've reached that point with are ones that were sent to me in PR. So now that we have that out of the way, I'm sorry that I gave that lengthy introduction. Let's go ahead and talk about this 4-wick 18-ounce candle from HOMEWORX. We all know how I feel about how HOMEWORX does their packaging on these vessels. Beautiful photographic wraparound label. The ambiance is just really one of the best in the business, I would say. When it comes to how their candles look upon burn, we've got this beautiful illumination going on in the background here. The pour date of this candle that I am reviewing in front of me is June 22nd, 2024. We have fragrance notes listed on the bottom of this candle as citrus punch, cinnamon, vanilla bean, and tonka. If you go on the Slatkin & Co. website, they break down the fragrance notes into a little bit more detail. They list top notes of orange, lemon, lime, and grape, mid notes of cinnamon and clove bud, and base notes of vanilla, nutmeg, and tonka. So what does my nose detect here? Honestly, you guys, when this candle was offered, HOMEWORX sometimes allows their ambassadors to choose from the candles that they are offering to send out in PR. Sometimes they'll send us like 5 candles and they'll say choose 2 or choose 1 or something. This was a fragrance that honestly I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued by that. But it wasn't necessarily something when I looked at the fragrance notes that I thought, wow, I just have to have that. If you have caught any of my candle chat videos, I have said I have actually been very surprised by how much I really enjoy this fragrance. It's not overly boozy, which is fine because there's no boozy notes listed in the fragrance accords. However, this does definitely remind me of a drink that I would have at like a holiday cocktail party. It's not the sangria that you would get in the summertime where it's more like, it's definitely a refreshing drink, but I think what sets this apart are those warming spices of cinnamon and clove bud. The base of like a vanilla, nutmeg, and tonka in there, I think also lends, I want to say, an element of warmth to this candle without making this smell creamy or gourmand or anything like that. It definitely gives you a drink type of vibe, but without there being any booziness. But it's also definitely a drink that I would associate with the winter time, one that would definitely give you some warmth inside, more so than it just being like a summer cocktail. As far as those top notes are listed, I would say that the citrus punch notes that I smell, I don't detect grape at all, and really not so much lime. It's definitely more of like an orange. It definitely leans more orange to me, but it is kind of like citrus. It's definitely a citrus punch in there. And we all know that citrus tends to blend really beautifully with clove and cinnamon during this time of year. That is kind of a fragrance combo that is embraced by a lot of cultures during the holiday season. So honestly, you guys, I have really, really been enjoying this fragrance. It's a mix of like I said, citrus punch. You definitely detect the cinnamon in there. The cinnamon in here is definitely more of like a very prominent in your face cinnamon. It's not like a soft cinnamon type of scent. But then again, a little bit of a vanilla bean and tonka in here, I think also brings a little bit more of like I would say like a neutrality that just kind of makes this fragrance it's just beautiful. I really, really like this one. Do I feel like I need backups and backups upon it? No, but I do really enjoy it. I've been enjoying it here in the early days of November. I feel like this is a really nice fragrance that starts to get me ready for the holiday season. As you can see by my background here, I have not yet switched over from my fall decor until to the Christmas decor. You guys know I live in Arizona, and honestly, the weather usually does not really cooperate. Although, thankfully, we went from having really warm temperatures to like what our normal quote unquote winter, I would say like winter type of weather here. We've had highs in like the 60s during the day, which I've really been appreciating. So the weather is starting to feel a little bit more like late fall, early winter to us. But anyways, where I'm going with that is that I personally don't usually decorate my house for Christmas until like the weekend before Thanksgiving. So just know in some of my candle reviews that I might be reviewing holiday candles with still my fall decor in the background. And oh well, that's just how we're gonna roll. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. You can see that I am more than halfway through on this one. The wicks are performing well for me. They do want to lean just a little bit, I will say. But so far, I'm not having any issues. I am still abiding by my own personal rule of allowing about 5 hours for the first burn on a lot of these HOMEWORX candles to allow them to achieve a complete wax pool. And then in successive burns, I do find that the candle pulls out a lot quicker. The wicks on this one, I would say they're like those medium-sized wicks. They're not super, super thin and flimsy, but like I said, they are wanting to lean a little bit, but you can see where I'm at in the burn on this, and I'm not getting any kind of like deading out wicks. The wicks have been burning pretty consistently throughout the whole time. They're not burning too hot. They're not too low. They're just right. They're kind of like those Goldilocks wicks. So kudos to them on that. Strength and throw of this candle for me, you guys, this has been one of the stronger performing HOMEWORX candles for me. Again, now I do always like to say this. I find in my home personally, when cinnamon is a note listed more in the forefront of candles, that fragrance note does tend to perform well in my home. I would give this candle a solid 9 in terms of strength and throw. It definitely fills out the open concept. It reaches to the edges of the doorways in the hallway. It's definitely performing quite well. If you are new to my channel and you want some background as to the size of my home, layout, year it was built, environmental factors, I do have all of that listed in the description box down below, and I would encourage you to be familiarize yourself with that, just because all of us have different home layouts, different square footage, and that can definitely impact a reviewer's perception of strength and throw. I have also been able to open up the windows here and here and there. But I was also burning this when I had the air conditioning on, and I felt like it performed well in both circumstances. So I would say, you guys, that this candle does get 2 thumbs up from me. If you have been intrigued by it, I think that you would really enjoy this one. Definitely a great fragrance, I think, as we are heading into the holidays. And we all know that come December, I will probably be all tree fragrances all the time. Honestly, you guys, once my Christmas decor goes up, I am very, very sentimental about the fragrances that I like to burn. But this one is definitely a great transitional fragrance, as I am pretty much over all of the pumpkin and apple scents, and I'm definitely looking forward to the holidays. I do think that this is a really nice fragrance. Slatkin & Co. has been running quite a few sales on the weekends. I think at the time that I'm filming this, they're doing like a 2 for $38. I don't know if that sale is still going on, but you guys know all of these companies are eager for our money in the month of November. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of sales popping up as we approach the much anticipated Black Friday. I don't know what those sales are, but I do have a discount code with Slatkin & Co. Katie's Joyful Life should save you 15% on orders over $40. Usually that cannot be combined with a lot of their great sales. And I will always tell you, never ever pay full price for any of these candles. You can always get them at some sort of a discount. It's just your own personal timing timing and budget to determine how great of a discount you want. But overall, you guys, this one does get 2 thumbs up from me. Feel free to comment down below if you have purchased this candle and what your thoughts on it are. I would be curious to know what your experience has been with it. Please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. If it helped you out, it helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. And consider subscribing to my channel if you're new. I do like to do lots of dedicated candle reviews like this. I also film hauls, empties, and a lot of fun stuff in between. So feel free to hit that subscribe button if you would like more candle content. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.